Welcome back. Egypt have witnessed a historical day as Egypt have signed the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi co-chaired with U.S. President Donald Trump Gaza ceasefire summit and the signed agreement of ceasefire in Sharm el-Sheikh with the participation of 30 of the world leaders and prime ministers of several countries, Arab and European countries. To shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, Dr. Reem Bedair, professor at Graceland University, USA. Good morning.
Good morning to you, ma'am, and good morning to the Egyptian people.
Well, Dr. Bedair, Egypt have witnessed a historical day actually in the contemporary history. The signing of a peace agreement or a ceasefire Gaza agreement that took place in Sharm el-Sheikh with the as President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Egypt have called for this summit. How did you follow this historical moment?
Absolutely. On personal level, I followed the Sharm el-Sheikh summit closely this morning with Nile TV, which was like a international news outlet that provided live coverage of the peace signing ceremony. It was clear from the outset that the summit carried a historic weight. The meeting brought together world leaders under the joint leadership of President Donald Trump and President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, making one of the most significant moments in recent Middle East diplomacy. What stood out most was the combination of American diplomatic initiatives and Egypt's regional mediation. Trump's administration had been working to shape multi-phase peace proposal, while Egypt, under the presidential leadership of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, provided a neutral ground, logistic coordinations, and credibility needed to make negotiation possible. Together, these efforts transformed months of indirect talks into a concrete peace framework, as we saw.
Yes, Dr. Bedair, the gathering, we did not witness this gathering before, except in the United Nations only. A large number of world leaders and prime ministers from Arab and European countries, in addition to the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, in addition to the Secretary General of the Arab League. How did you see this or read this?
Of course. The plan was developed primarily under U.S. leadership alongside with the Egyptian leadership, building on a diplomatic groundwork by President Trump, who personally pushed for a structured agreement with a clear timeline and international guarantees. From the Egyptian side, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and also the Egyptian government acted in a significant role as a co-chair, and they give a guarantee for hosting these negotiations and ensure Arab and regional support, supporting countries including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Turkey, the UAE, Jordan, of course, and as you said, European Union, especially focusing with the United Nations, which all sit together, assist also in monitoring and aid the delivery because it has multiple phases. So all these together nations and leaders agreed to control and monitor the implementation of of Gaza. Implementation
Yes.
will be jointly overseen by Egypt as well as the United States, with the coordination teams working on both the security front and the rebuilding or reconstruction in Gaza.
Yes, Dr. Bedair, what is the message that Egypt is sending to the whole world by this historical moment taking place on the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt with the signing of a peace agreement here on the Egyptian land?
Of course, aside from being proud of Egypt's role, Egypt has a significant or played a significant role throughout the Gaza conflict, has been constant, measured, and deeply rooted in its history as a stabilizing power in the region. From the early days of the crisis, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi positioned Egypt as a diplomatic hub, keeping the Rafah cross borders open for the aid, hosting multiple routes of indirect talks, and maintaining the communication with all sides. By hosting Sharm el-Sheikh summit, Egypt reaffirmed its status as the center of regional diplomacy in the Middle East. Indeed, Mr. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi was crucial. His role was crucial in transforming international calls for de-escalation into structured peace deals. His emphasis on humanitarian protection and post-war reconstruction gives the agreement both legal and moral grounding.
Yes.
His coordination with President Trump was also vital, and both leaders aligned on the urgency of halting civilian suffering and creating a practical roadmap towards stability in the Middle East region.
Yes, Dr. Bedair, with Egypt gathering all these number of world leaders here on the Egyptian lands and being able to introduce a very well organized and secured, how does this show of the ability of Egypt and its secured and stability of its lands?
Of course, it's a very obvious message to the whole world that Egypt is a safe, stable, and a center of power in the Middle East region. The high level of participation at Sharm el-Sheikh summit reflects a renewed sense of the global unity towards ending the conflict in Gaza and also in Middle East to be a stable region, led by a big nation like Egypt and Egypt's people. Let me refer to the Egypt people, Egypt's government, and Egyptian, of course, President Mr. Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. All we together, we working shoulder by shoulder or hand by hand. We working together in the Arab League and also the European Union, African Union, and all these organizations. Also, we cannot really neglect the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. All
yes.
them working together with the Egyptian people, Egyptian government, Egyptian presidential leadership to make this summit in more than excellent level that Egypt is the land of peace and the city of the peace, Sharm el-Sheikh. We are have the power, have the infrastructure, have the stability, and also the security. All these was like, I was really proud this morning when I was watching all these leaders are just coming together in the city of the peace, Sharm el-Sheikh, to signing these agreements, which is restore the international confidence in Egypt and also in joint diplomacy.
Yes, Dr. Bedair, also President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi delivered a very important speech before the conference. How did you follow his statements?
Of course, Mr. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi in Sharm el-Sheikh stated the peace plan, which is designed in the three-phase roadmap. The first phase established an immediate ceasefire, prisoners exchange, and open the corridors. The second phase involves large-scale reconstruction of Gaza infrastructure, and he also asked or call most of the leaderships or leaders of all the nations around the world, not only in the Islamic countries or Middle East, not only the European Union, to contribute on the budget or on the the financial plan to reconstruction Gaza. And also he emphasized also in the final phase, which is about the framework for long-term governance and security conditions in Gaza. And President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the Egyptian government acted as a co-chair, and they acted as a grantee for this ceremony to be signed and to be like what we saw in front of the whole world. We were watching and all the people were indirect to Sharm el-Sheikh to see how Egypt is leading in these agreements or these ceremonies.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Dr. Reem Bedair, professor at Graceland University, USA. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a short break and I'm going to be back with you.